Hey guys, Phil and James here, day number 9. So we thought do another video to kind of update you as to where I'm at. Not much activity today, but I did want to pick up from where we left off yesterday, or in our 8th video, where I actually have submitted an app to the lender, and today I did get information back from them that the application was approved. So I reached out to the business owner and I spoke with him to kind of go over that he was approved and wanted to know if he wanted to move forward with it. I have to be honest with you, he was a little hesitant. But then we kind of went over what he was using the funds for, and although the high cost of the loan, he was okay with it when I talked to him and explained to him how this is going to help his business, and he was going to make so much more money after he gets what he's involved with. So he understood, he agreed to move forward with it, which I was happy about. So then I reached back out to the lender and told them that it was approved, and then they were able to send me the paperwork. So I got the paperwork and I submitted it. Now I'm waiting to hear back on that. So I'm hoping to hear back and maybe have my first deal move forward with. So that's really pretty much what I've done today. But one of the other things I wanted to talk to you guys about is just this business in of itself. Here I am, day 9 in business. I got a deal going. I have a few other things in the hopper. I don't want to talk about those stuff yet because nothing's really happened. I already told you about my 5 credit repair deals that I got. So it's been really cool in terms of what I've done in such a short period of time. But one of the things I keep talking to Phil about is just the freedom that I have from working from home. I know I'm here with Phil, but it's essentially like working from home because I don't have an office I have to go to. And I've worked for companies before, and I've also been in business for myself. So I've never had this experience where I've worked from home before, and I don't have to deal with other employees or other interruptions through the day. I'm pretty much fitting work with my lifestyle. Here we are outside on this beautiful day, and I'm working. So it's pretty cool in that if you want to have a business where you could control your day, where you could control and fit in making money with your life, I really I'm so taken aback, and how come I haven't done this a lot sooner? How come I didn't talk to you a lot sooner? But this is definitely something that is just an amazing opportunity to work with. And I could only relate to it from my previous business, where I would set my day in motion. We would have a meeting in the morning. I had employees, and we would go over what was expected for the day. And a lot of times we would set that in motion, and there would be some interruption that would stop the progression of what we had set out in terms of our goals, whether it be client phone calls that had to be taken, or somebody who had come in, or there was a production issue that had to be resolved, or sometimes there was employee issues where we had to deal with some HR concerns and stuff like that, all of which I don't have now. I just have to focus on myself and the efforts that I put forward, and I want to work as hard as I want to work, or if I just want to take it easy for a moment, I can. And you can't really do that in other businesses. So this is definitely one of those businesses that you can work at your pace. You could work aggressively to make more money and keep going forward with things, or you could work at a pace that's comfortable for you. You're in charge. It's your business, and you can work at the pace that you want to without having others dictate to you how fast or slow you should work. So for me, that's really empowering, and that's one of the biggest things that I want to get across to you guys, because I'm enjoying it. I'm waiting for this deal to go through, so I'm hoping, I'm feeling good about it now that we're a little further along. But more than that, it's just the laid-back opportunity here. And don't get me wrong, I'm one of these type A personalities, so I'm really moving forward with things. But I'm really enjoying that the pressure is self-inflicted. It's not because of other things that are controlling my time and my life. So I just want to share that with everybody.
It's pretty good, man.
Yeah,
I gotta say, it's been 9 days, and you're already doing videos. Made his first video by himself yesterday. I didn't email that out to everyone yet, but it's just funny in like 9 days how far you've come. And obviously, he has the business background. He's done it, ran a business before. So some people will, take a little bit longer to get to the point for running their own business, right? If you've never done it before. But I have to tell you, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. anybody can do this.
Yeah.
You just have to want it. That's it. As long as you want it, it'll happen. But we actually met Rudy today. Rudy, we met him at a local diner here. He joined. I asked him, why did you join? And this out of anything else you can do. And he loved the fact that we were local, so that helps out.
Yeah.
So we met him, and this is someone who has a full-time job. He is looking to build up something on the side, which most people have. Most people have a job looking to do something on the side. So what I told him, I said, listen, just don't quit.
Right.
As long as you don't quit, because this business doesn't cost anything to stay in it. As long as you don't quit, you will eventually see success. Now, he's not in a rush. If it takes a month, 2 weeks, 6 months, a year, what does it matter, right? He's been working at his job, he said, for 28 years, and eventually, worst case scenario, he gets his pension and he does his thing. But obviously, he would like to make money doing something like this and quit his job one day, right? That's what everyone wants to do. But everyone's in a different position in their life and what they need. But he's in a good position because he can, whatever amount of time it takes him, and he can always do it down the road. There's no rush for him. And nobody should really rush a business. Right. It's going to take as much time as it takes. It is what it is. But just don't quit. So that's that.
He's a great guy. If I could just say, it was great meeting him. He had some really good questions, and he's very anxious to get started. So like you said, I think he's going to do well. So
yeah, as long as he doesn't quit, as long as he keeps the pace, it is what. And like you said, after we met him, first thing James said was he asked a lot of good questions.
Yeah, he did.
It was really good questions, and the questions that people ask, usually you can kind of tell if they even have a chance of being successful. I'll tell you a funny story real quick. Way back in the day, I'm talking about 10 years ago, I was doing something else, and the fee to come into that business was like $500. And the guy goes, $500? I'd rather take my family out to dinner. I'm like, how do you compare starting a business to going out to dinner? It's like, just take your family out to dinner. Like, how do you compare those two? So that one comment shows to me that person will never be successful at business. I mean, he's not even on the same playing field. So if that's your mindset, then you're just barking up the wrong tree. Just go get yourself a job, do your job, and call it a day, because you don't have the entrepreneur mindset and what it really takes to be successful. And that really is just not quitting and understanding what it takes to be successful, putting the time and effort in, and knowing that it's going to take time. It is what it is. You're going to spend money. What else did he say? He said, you said it. I forget who said it. But you said it's cheaper to learn from my mistakes.
Right, I said that. Because one of the things that I said to to Rudy was, one of the coolest things was Phil shared his whole story, and he explained how he's the one that was kind of like the trailblazer to get this going. And now we all get to learn from what he did. And I said, that's brilliant, because while he was making that money, he was the one that was establishing who these lenders are that to work with. He was establishing what to say, how to do it, what rate of return that you can make, the commissions and so forth, and how to go about doing it. We don't have to do that because he's already set it up for us. So he's telling us exactly what to follow. We're learning from his mistakes, and that's the cheapest way to learn, because we're not going to make the same mistakes if we listen to what Phil says and we follow that program, and it definitely works. And that was what I said to Rudy. The other thing I know Rudy I mentioned was he works about 50 hours a week. And, that's very busy. A lot of people are that way with personal commitments and work. And like I said just before, this business, you can operate at your own time. Like Phil said, just don't give up. Keep working at it. Work at it where you can, and focus on it at the time that you're working on it. But he's under the impression that he's going to replace his income, and that's his goal, like many of us are. But he can do that now at his leisure and start ramping up the business so that then he could do that. And I hope he will achieve that goal, and I know he will, as long as he keeps at it. So I think that was really good.
And we talked to somebody yesterday. I think his name was Dave. I'm so bad with names.
Yes, Dave,
Indiana?
the farmer. Yes.
Farmer, Indiana?
Right. Yeah, it was Indiana. Yeah.
So, Dave, if you're watching. So the funny thing that Dave said yesterday, James we were driving to lunch, we were in the car, so he was listening, and he mentioned, James' video's great. I'm like, James is right here. So what happened was, funny, first thing he said was, I can't believe the comments you get on the Facebook ads I run. That's how he found it, obviously, through Facebook ads. And he's like, the comments you get are horrible, some of these people. And obviously those are not business-minded people. They think everything's a scam.
Right.
They hate everybody, right? So it is what it is. But it's amusing sometimes what people say without just doing their research. And I understand you need to do your due diligence and whatever. But another thing that Dave said was, so Dave said that in his business, the farming business, he spent $250,000 to make $260,000. So he liked the idea of James spending about $770, $800 and basically making $1,600 if this deal works out, which it looks like it will at this point. So that's a great ratio. So you take that. He doesn't. You can work from home, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just great having these conversations with these people and hearing what everyone from there. I talked to Renee, and she loved the fact that she can wear her pajamas from home, right? Cool. So I guess that video I made where I showed that I was wearing nighttime jams, like the kids call them. You can just do that all day. So that resonated with her. And then you also have timing. People have maybe this isn't for you today. I just got an email from someone that said, I saw this about 6 months ago or whatever it was, or weeks ago, and now it's the right time. And I get that a lot. It's just, before, I didn't have the money, or I just wasn't, maybe I was too busy, whatever the case would be. So it's all about timing. And James, like you said before, wish I did this sooner. Yeah. It just wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time. You had your business, it was running, and eventually you wanted to get out for whatever the reasons were, or you had an opportunity to get out. Yeah. And you said, all right, now's the right time to do this. So just because I'm so far ahead of what I've done, because I've been doing it for 3 years now, don't look at it as like a huge uphill to get to where I am. Don't worry about me. Just take your time. If it works for you, great, do it. And it'll happen on its own. And you'll achieve the success that you want to achieve. A lot of people look at where I am and think like, oh, I have to jump to where I am. You don't need to do that. It took me 3 years to get to this point. This didn't happen overnight. And it took me really a year before I even started ramping up my business to this type of level. It took me a year from when I first started doing it, even entertained the idea of doing this business. That was a whole year. And it really took me almost like 5 or 6 months before then, when I actually understood it and knew what I wanted to do. It still took me 5 or 6 months to get to that point. So I'm going to accelerate that year for you like you did. I went from a year to 9 days. Mm-hmm. That's the way you got to look at it. Yeah. It took me a solid year from the first instinct. Like he said, I want to do this. Him closing his first deal, it basically took me almost as long. Yeah. Not 9 days. Yeah. It took me a lot longer. It took him 9 days. It took me months and months and months to figure that out. So that's good. So that's it. Guess we bored him enough, right? Anything else to say?
That's all good.
Yeah. All right. So hopefully tomorrow, day 10, you'll get closer to closing that deal. Yes. Hopefully it will close tomorrow.
Hopefully.
And then he'll go into the last piece of the pie and how they close deals and the steps that it takes. And then if it does close tomorrow, you should get paid either tomorrow or Monday, because that usually get paid 24 hours on business days. And today's Thursday, and tomorrow is no work Friday. So today's actually our Friday. Again, build the business around your lifestyle. If you don't want to work Fridays, Mondays, Wednesdays, do whatever you want. That's the best part. All right. Everyone have a good day.